Let's get into the nitty-gritty now. Get into our presentations. We are talking about compliance management. Are you up to date? Are you complying? And we've got a specialist in the house. Specialist ki motho tsebang ntho ya hae man. These are people who have studied in this industry. We've got one specialist in the house today, Ndivhuwo. Ndivhuwo, Head Compliance, Insights and Advisory at Nedbank. Let me read his bio quickly. Who is Ndivhuwo? Ndivhuwo is an advocate of the High Court of South Africa. Yeah, I tla mshapeleng matso so obadile motho. Leonard, muntu ofundile. He's an advocate of the High Court of South Africa and a international certified compliance professional and a member of the Compliance Institute of South Africa. He holds an LLB degree from this university, the University of Venda, a master's degree in tax law from the University of Johannesburg, legislative drafting from the University of Pretoria, and he has held, last but not least, several positions in compliance in Transnet, has also worked as a legal researcher. So this is a specialist in compliance. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for Ndivhuwo. Come on, let's show him some love and welcome our compliance expert, Ndivhuwo Tshikororo. My brother, the stage is yours. Here's your mic.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. It's an honor for me to be here with you today. As the program director has indicated, my name is Ndivhuwo Tshikororo. I am with Nedbank. I'm based in Johannesburg. I came through last night, and it's an honor for me to be here today. The last time I went up this stage was more than 15 years ago, when I graduated my LLB degree at this university. And when I got a call or an invite to be part of this session to talk about compliance management, I felt like it's an honor because I'm giving back to the community, something that I've learned, and my career started here, and I feel proud to also give back to the community because now I'm head of compliance at Nedbank. I assist the organization to comply with many pieces of legislations or many laws. And you guys, as township entrepreneurs, SMEs, you also require to comply with many pieces of legislation. The topic of today is compliance management, but the first thing that we need to then get to understand is what is compliance management? Anyone wants to guess? What is compliance management? This is going to be an interactive discussion. Don't be shy. More than welcome to give it a try. What is compliance management?
I would say that it's doing the work that's necessary to make sure that you comply with all the requirements. It can be industry specific or requirements.
Yeah. That is compliance management. It's a processes that you put in place to ensure that your organization complies with relevant laws, regulations, or internal policies. Now the question is, what is it that you need to comply with from township perspective? You have got a spaza shop, you have got a tavern. What is it that you need to comply with? You're starting your business. What is it that you need to comply with? Our parliament, they've got authority to make laws. And laws which are enacted by parliament applies across. Our provincial legislatures also have powers to enact laws as well, which means that within the province of Limpopo, if the provincial government then come up with laws, it means that law will only apply within the province of Limpopo. Gauteng the same, it means the law will only apply within that specific area as well. Then we also have what we call municipal councils. They also empowered in terms of the Constitution of South Africa to come up with what we call municipal bylaws. And those are some of the laws that regulate township economic enterprises, which then means that you then need to take cognizance and also go and get to understand within the area where you are operating if there are municipal bylaws which then applies within your specific business area. Let's say I've got a spaza shop. Within Mercado, you'll find that there will be a bylaw that regulates how spazas ought to operate. Do you need a permit? You're starting a spaza shop now. Do you need a permit? Or you're starting a tavern? Do you need a liquor license? Those are some of the questions that you need to ask yourselves as and when you're conducting your business from compliance perspective. Each and every business that you're conducting is regulated. If it's a company, it means the requirements of the Companies Act will apply. It means you need to register your entity with the CIPC, which falls under the Department of Trade, Industries and Competition. And during the course of the year, there are also reporting or submissions that needs to go to the CIPC as well. But as small enterprises, you'll find that you then need to get maybe a third party to assist you to then make those submissions. That's important. And we also have the South African Revenue Service. I think all of us, we know there are only two things that happens in life. Guaranteed, you'll pay tax and you'll also pass on. And there's no way. It is important for you, especially if you also want to be a law-abiding citizen as well, irrespective of the size of your organization. You need to ensure that you register with SARS so that you can have a tax number, because in some organizations, or if you're requesting funding from other organizations, they will ask your tax compliance status. That will be the first thing. And we know when it comes to government procurement, there are certain documents which are required. One will be a CIPC, another one will be BBBE certificate, but for small enterprises, the requirements of BBBE are more relaxed. They may then require, depending on the size of your organization, an affidavit, a sworn affidavit, where you attest that you did not exceed, or the entity did not exceed a specific threshold in terms of the law. That is very, very important. You must have all your documents in order to ensure compliance with relevant applicable laws or legislations. Now you're conducting your business. If you're conducting a business, for example, you hire employees. If you are hiring employees, there are certain laws that regulate how you need to then engage with your employees. There is what we call the Basic Conditions of Employment Act that regulate working hours, that regulates leaves, because you cannot then subject your employees to work more than 14 hours. That is not allowed in terms of the law. And there are implications if you don't comply with those specific legislation as well. Very, very important to do that. We also have occupational health and safety related legislation. You have got employees. It means as an employer, you also have an obligation to provide them with a safe working condition. I believe we've got a bakery somewhere at the back there as well. The person conducting that business needs to comply with the Occupational Health and Safety Act. And there are also legislations that also protect consumers or clients, like the Consumer Protection Act. Are we protecting our consumers? The foodstuffs that we are selling to these consumers, are they not expired? And if they've expired and you are selling that to the community, it means it also subject or also put the life of our communities at risk as well. And there are laws regulating that as well. Let's take note of that. It is also very important. Tax, I've already touched on it. All of us, we need to pay tax. If you're conducting your business, important as well to ensure that you pay tax. If you've got employees within your business, you need to make sure that you also deduct what we call pay as you earn. That's an obligation for all of us, play our role within the community. Triple BE, I think we also have stakeholders from the commission, a BE commission, which is an agency established in terms of the legislation. If you want more information, you can just walk to them. They'll give you more information if you want to make sure that your organization complies with the broad-based Black Economic Empowerment Act as well. Then, because I come from the bank, our business is to safeguard your funds and also to lend you money. And you need to understand how that process works. As we are highly, highly regulated, when you come to us saying you want to open a bank account, there are laws that we need to comply with. All the information that we require from you is because there are laws that we need to comply with. We don't just ask information. We don't just ask directors information for the sake of doing that. We ask because there are certain legislations that states that we need to get to know the person we are dealing with. You can be a sole proprietor, you can be a partner in a partnership, can be a director in a company. You can also be cooperatives, and these cooperatives are some of those legal entities where we feel like most of our people are not tapping into that space. And we need to tap into cooperatives as well. We ask that kind of information in order for us to then open a bank account. And if you want money, it means we then need to also ask certain information. We have got a law called the National Credit Act. That law has been enacted to protect you as consumers or as clients. If you go to someone who is not registered with the National Credit Regulator, that person might not comply with that legislation. And you might find that you don't get any protection. But if you come to us, we have got processes that we need to follow before we lend money to you. And what are some of those processes that you need to take into account if you want money from a bank? For example, if you've got a company and you want the bank to lend you money, we may then ask for bank statements of that entity or financials of that entity. And why do we ask that kind of information? We're asking for information because we have a regulatory compliance obligation to ensure that we don't extend credit to persons who cannot then be able to afford to repay that money. That's why we do ask for that kind of information, because a person might then say, why is Nedbank or a bank asking for bank statements, asking for my expenses and so forth? We ask because we want to ensure that we protect you, and protecting you is to ensure that we grant you loan that you'll then be able to afford. Because if we then extend credit and you are unable to then pay at a later stage, that also have ramifications as well. You know about credit bureau. You know about credit score. If you're banking with Nedbank, if you go to Money app, on a monthly basis, we update your score. We collate all data from different credit bureau, and then you'll be able to pull your report, and then you'll see where you are sitting. Can be an individual or a legal entity. And we use that kind of data as and when we decide whether to grant you money and or not. And if you are unable to pay, it means your score will then go down. But if you're paying well, it means your score will go up. And you then come back again, you want funding, it means we'll then be able to then grant you funding. And let's take a classic example of a person who is running a spaza shop or a tavern. The person does not have a bank account. The transaction, everything is cash. And the person really, really need money from a bank. It means there is no bank that have any information relating to that person. Because in order for us to extend funding to any person, it means you must have a profile. We must be able to see that, okay, this person received this much and this person spent this much. It means if we extend credit to this person, it means this person will then be able to pay us. But if a person only uses cash, does not have any bank account, it means it becomes difficult for us to then extend credit. But if you have got a check account, as an example, it means we'll then go and collate that data. We'll then be able to see that, okay, on a monthly basis, this person gets 10,000, and after all the expenses, this person is left with this much. Therefore, we can extend credit to this person. And on the same vein as well, that person, as Nedbank, we can also provide the person with what you call a POS device. When clients goes to him or her, then it means with my bank card, I'll then be able to tap or use a bank card. And all that data will then also enable in future for us to then be able to see that this person is able to afford or to pay back money to the bank. And it cut across. It is important. I've got colleagues back there. If you need POS devices, they will be able to help you. If you want to ask information relating to accounts, they will also be able to help you. We have got different types of product at Nedbank. Meets your needs as well. And lastly, there has been a couple of developments over the past few months as well, from township perspective. The first one, the previous Minister of COGTA on the 2nd of June this year published what we call the draft standard on township economics. It was published for public comment. The closing date was on the 30th of June. Us as Nedbank participated into that process. We provided comments. It's important for you guys to take note of those kinds of developments, because in terms of that bylaw, once it's enacted, all municipalities will be given 6 months to adopt that bylaw. It means the municipality here in Thohoyandou as well will be required to adopt that bylaw. That bylaw will be a game changer within the township economy. Because as and when, for example, you require information relating to the registration, licensing of your businesses, you just go to the municipality. Municipality will be able to guide you and help you. That is very important for your businesses as well. A cut across. If, let's take a practical example. Today is the 20th of July. If the current Minister of COGTA decides to then say, signing it into law, it means within 6 months, each and every municipality will have to adopt it into law, which means that early next year, each and every municipality will then adopt that municipal bylaws. That will assist each and every township economic businesses as well. Another development that we noticed in 2022, but only apply within Gauteng, the Gauteng government opted to adopt what we call the Gauteng Economic Development Act, which only focuses on your township businesses as well. Very, very important. You might also find the same thing happening within Limpopo, where you find the provincial legislature then adopt a legislation of that nature. Those are some of the things that we see coming up, and even the president on Thursday also touched on assistance and support that will also be given to township businesses. The Minister of Small Businesses on the 17th of this month, she was in Parliament delivering the budget vote for the department. Lots of money has been pumped as well to township economic businesses as well. Those are some of the things that we need to look at. If you go to your municipalities, they will give you this kind of information. If you go to the website of the Department of Small Businesses Development, you'll get all this information. There are lots of initiatives that government is also trying to assist small businesses as well. On that note, I see the program director is saying time is up. But we have got lots of information that we can share with you. We have partnered with TIA as Nedbank, and from Nedbank compliance, we're also coming up with document that we'll also share with you in the near future, which will guide you from legislations that you need to comply with from national level, from provincial or municipal bylaws. Then you'll go to your municipality where they will give you that. But nationally, we're trying to come up with something that we'll share with TIA, and then we'll also be able to share with you as well. It will also be on their platform, on TIA's platform. On that note, open for questions, if I still have time. I don't see it. Does that mean that you don't understand?
So there's just only 2 questions because of time. 1 question here, and then we've got a question from my brother. Please, can you stand, introduce yourself, and get straight to the question? Thank you.
Deactivated, then you're no longer doing you're no longer returning your taxes.
Yeah. Once a company has been deregistered, it means that entity does not exist anymore. Therefore, it means there's no relationship with SARS, unless if you've got outstanding obligations before the entity was deregistered. That's when SARS will come and knock on your door.
Right, another question here.
Ndivhuwo Tshikororo from Roviko Matras. Mr. Tshikororo, does Nedbank provide mentorship for startups like myself, Roviko?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. We do have those kind of programs in Nedbank. I'll have a chat with you during break, and then I will connect you with relevant persons at Nedbank. But we do provide those kind of services as well.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please can we put our hands together for Mr. Ndivhuwo Tshikororo, Head Compliance, Regulatory, Inside Advisory. Thank you so much. So here's a gift for you. All right, so what would like you to do? Oh no, you want to give me the gift? Please, can you look straight into the camera? Please look straight into the camera. Take a picture. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for Mr. Ndivhuwo. Much, much appreciated, sir. Here's your gift. Everything that is in this gift has been bought from the exhibitors who are here today. So thank you.